Hi, you're watching Intrigue.com. I'm your host, Tamika Molden, and I'm sitting here with my god sister, Samier Handy, and we're going to be discussing the untimely death of her son, Samier James Handy. Tina.
Yes.
Now, you know we have to act as if I don't know the answers to these questions because we're on camera, okay? So I think it's best that we start from the beginning.
Okay.
So, the pregnancy of Samier, how was that?
Okay. Well, the pregnancy, you know, it was good. I never had no issues with the pregnancy or anything. But when it was time to give birth to him, the labor pains was off the hook. I'm saying I was shaking the bed. The nurse touched me. I hit her. My mom said, "Katina, yeah, don't touch me right now." So I had him. He was 8 pounds 4 ounces, and he didn't have any hair. His dad said he ordered hair.
I still laugh about that.
Yeah. So he said I ordered hair. What happened? So then I brought him home. Everything was good. You know, he was a crybaby in the beginning. He's a crybaby.
So was Samier like a quick learner? Did he pick up on walking quickly? Was he a friendly baby? Did he cry a lot?
He cried a lot. At first he was a crybaby, and I put him in the playpen and stuff like that. And I woke up, he stayed in front of my face, so he knew how he climbed out the playpen. So I was like, how the heck did he get out the playpen? So yeah, he walked pretty good, and he had anger issues as a child. I didn't know where it was coming from. He was at daycare, and they said he used to throw chairs and pull his hair. And he didn't do that at home. He just did it at daycare. So I don't know if he was mad because I left him at daycare. Didn't come, you know. So I had to get him observed by Mr. I'll never forget the man, from the Terry Center. And he came and observed him. He said he was just a normal 2-year-old, but I knew different, you know. Something wasn't right.
He was just so strong. I mean, even when he was little, he was kind of like
forehead,
stocky.
he had this little vein in his front of his forehead.
Yeah, and he was like buff. Like he had little muscles and stuff. And then we can't leave out the red hair. Remember, Sai had he had like
a redhead mohawk.
Right. That's how his hair grew. Yeah. So you can't forget that.
No, and then he so, you know, I had him on medication. Make a long story short, I took him to the Terry Center. He went there for a while. He had to take medications. And
do you think that helped?
No.
No.
Not at all. Because like I was messing with Darnell Shaki at the time, and so I used to rock, and he was rocking, and he started rocking and slobbering because the medicine started slowing down his brain. He was on so much, you know.
Yeah.
And he got fat, and he used to get teased. I mean, that's the part that Marty could tell you about more, because she was outside with him.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And he got teased a lot, you know what I'm saying? And it just, you know, he didn't feel good about himself. And I remember when Shot came to me, he was crying. He said, "You need to take him off that medication because look at him." And when I went out there, he was rocking and rocking, and he always was sleeping, never went outside. So once I started taking him off the medication.
And how old was he at this age?
How old was he? Like, 7.
And they had him on that much medication?
7. 7 and... Yeah, between 7 and 8. Yeah, 7. And I had him on a lot of medication, and I took him off until it got to the point where he was in a special school. He was the first student in that school. I can't even remember.
Really?
Yeah, he was the first.
Do you think that helped the school?
He calmed down a lot in there.
Okay.
He did. That's when he started taking up for the other children that started coming in.
So he gained confidence in that school.
Right, and there was a teacher that was treating this one little boy bad. And they had these little padded rooms and everything. And they put Sai in one of them rooms because he took up for the other little boy. Yeah, but but once I took him off the medication, we went into the educational, you know how you go in front of the board, Board of Education. And Sai took over the whole meeting. He took over the whole meeting telling them how much he feels better without this medication. And how he can go outside and play with his sisters and them now. He don't fall asleep in class. You know, because he used to get in trouble for falling asleep in class, but they had him on all his medication.
Right, exactly. So what made him transition into this rap artist that we all know and love? What was his AKA?
Oh, name?
What did they used to call him?
They called him Suki Suave. Suki Suave. First he was called Sam. The people in the hospital called him Sam. And he used to call himself Sam at first. Then he named himself Soup, S-U-P. And then he named himself Suki Suave. Then he named himself Suki Handy. He didn't went through something. So, girl, he just loved to dress. He swear he was casting over. You know what I'm saying? There's something else. It's like you got
I wanted to introduce Martina Handy, which is Samier's sister, into the segment. Marty, you want to join us? So Marty, you tell us growing up with Sai, how was that? Because y'all were close in age.
It was fun. It was
you were only like a year or two apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was fun. It was like regular sibling things. Like, he got my nerves, like, because he always copied off me. So I got frustrated. Like, if I order orange juice, he won't order orange juice.
Right.
I switched back to apple juice. But it was fun.
So who was the protector? Were you more the protector of him, or was he the protector of you?
I was more the protector of him once we got older, but I think we protected each other the most part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you say that y'all were like best friends?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. What made him start to get into writing?
I don't know what made him get into it. I just know he started writing when we were young. We were still in elementary school. He probably was like third grade. He probably was in third grade. And he would write rhymes. They were kiddie. To me, they was like, what are you talking about? Yeah.
So you didn't take him seriously.
Because he was still little, so you take him like he's like 7 or something, 7 or 8, and he's writing this little lamb or something like that.
So then, what was it? What happened that made you realize that your brother really had rap skills? Like, what was the situation?
We always listen to music. We always listen. He always, he always started writing in his early teenage years. But somebody he looked up to passed away, and he wrote his feelings down and put it to music, and it was beautiful.
From a whole. Hove, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Hove.
And so the death of Hove made him be more expressive in his music, and that's when you realized that he had skills.
I mean, I've been realized it, but that right there, just I knew he was going to be something with it. Like, he was really going to go somewhere with it. But before then, we would be outside, and he just started rapping. Like, he would rhyme. It could be something so simple, like something happened, a dog could run across the street, and he would rap about it. Or it was one time where one of his friend's sneakers was leaning.
And he started rapping about it.
He said, because I never forget, he was like, oh my God. He was like, right foot is leaning to the left. It's leaning to the right.
So what was the guy's reaction? Was he okay with that?
He had no choice. But I was sitting here thinking while she was talking, the sad part with me is that I was so busy running the streets that I didn't know, you know what I mean, about him, his skills. Because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? It sounds gibberish to me because it wasn't what I was on, And then, somebody said, Sai's good. I said, is he? They said, yeah, he really is good. You know what I'm saying? And they played one of his raps for me. And I sat, because I like music and talent too. I always have. So I said, and Joe and Sai, I ain't trying to hear that. So I listened, and he was good. He was really good.
How did that make you feel?
I was like, wow. You know what I'm saying? So then I used to sit and say, Sai, hit something for me, He'd be like, what? You know what I'm saying? I was like, for real, because I just like, so like, I said, let me hear you. And then he would rap something that he made, you know what I'm saying? And I'd be serious about it, like listening to him, you know. And I said, that's good. You're really good.
You were proud of him.
Yeah, I'm always proud. I was always proud of him. Because I always taught my children, don't ever lie to me because I got to be there to protect you whether you're right or wrong.
Right.
I love the relationship we had where he can come to me and talk to me about any and everything. You know what I'm saying? Even when he was incarcerated, he'd be like, Mom, you listening? I was like, yes, I'm listening, son. And I would give him advice, you know what I'm saying? And I just felt good that he was able to really get to that point because it was me inside when he was so angry. I used to say to him, is it me? You know, what's wrong? What's the problem? Like, you got to let me know so I can fix it, help fix it. You know, and, you know what I mean? Is it me? You know what I mean? Because, like, I'm getting high or whatever. I tell him, like, is it because I'm getting high? What is it? Tell me what you're mad about. You know what I'm saying? Because he, at one time, I went to the daycare and he said, my dad came and visited me today. And really, he didn't. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So that had an effect on his life. But as he got older, he grew out of it because them two closest, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, so them two had, you know, their relationship and stuff that they didn't share with me because I was too busy, but they loved me. You know what I'm saying? I love them. Yeah. And it just,
it was difficult because you were trying to get your life together and then the kids, they needed you. And then your younger son, Gaddafi, came along.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then them three.
Yeah.
And Dolph looked up the side. And Dolph, they used to say Dolph would go down, when they used to tease side, they said little as Dolph was, would go out the park and be somebody else.
Yeah.
Didn't they?
So it was kind of like y'all felt as if all y'all had was each other. You just kind of cling to your brothers and they clung to you. Is that?
Yeah, we felt like that. We know we had like my mom and we knew we had mommy too, but it was just, I don't know. We were all we had, like, and we held on to that because, like, something, even like if we get in trouble by my mom, we'll all get together. We'll all get together and be mad together.
Yeah, right. You form a little coalition. Yeah. So tell me, how did Suki meet his best friend? How did they meet?
AJ?
Yes.
Don't get me to line.
Remember?
I remember that Cy was in jail with his father. You understand? His father was somebody that I ran into when I was in the street and showed him around. You understand what I'm saying?
Right.
And his father told me, this is what his father told me, AJ's father told me, that him and Cy were cellies. He used to tell him about his son. You know what I mean? How his son felt. You know what I'm saying? But Cy used to tell his you know, AJ's father, you know, about me. And how much he still loves me. And you got to understand this, you know, problem. He just don't understand. And after that, Cy met his son. Not knowing that was his dad at first.
So how many years, like how old was he when they actually met? Was he in his 20s?
Well, he was 25 anyway when he passed. But, you know, so he was
like in his 20s.
When they met, so
like
they
maybe
20. Yeah, he was in his 20s.
So they have been friends for a few years?
Yeah.
So what made them become best friends, like really close?
I was friends for about 3 years.
Cy had a lot of good friends then, but, you know, I don't even know to say.
I think he just took them under his
wing. That's not like, and that's it, not like a best friend.
Okay.
But took them under, they was close.
Right.
Really close. You know what I'm saying?
So that particular night when he came over, like, where were y'all? Were you there, Martina?
No.
So what happened? Like,
okay, well, he came over as usual. You know what I'm saying? I was supposed to get my grandkids, her daughters, that day for Cy, you know what I'm saying? But I told them, you know, not to come. I said, we'll get them tomorrow because they was over there. You know what I'm saying? He had his company.
Right.
And I should have, well, anyway, so when they over there, I don't pay it no mind because that's what they do.
Right.
So I was in my room, sleeping. And
what, didn't somebody say they had just posted Instagram pictures where they were like together or something?
I think so. I mean, I wasn't there, but I think I knew the picture you're talking about.
Yeah. See, it was him, his girlfriend's brother, and was there, you know, and my son was in there.
So it was a regular night.
It was a regular night. I know my son came in the room with me and said, "Mom, don't go to sleep. I don't want you to go to sleep." I said, "Well, you know," because I just gave him some money for his, you know, pocket. I said, "Well," he said, "I want to order some pizza and stuff." You know what I'm saying? I just ordered something to eat. And I was like, "Oh, you know, okay, you know." And he said, "Well, Mom, don't go to sleep. I don't want you to go to sleep." I said, "Okay, I'm not sleeping." So, but I was laying there, and all I know, not no long after he came out my room, you know, saying that, all I know, my mom was hollering, you know, Tina, you know, come in, the piercing of her voice was really what got me.
So you didn't hear anything?
I didn't hear
you
nothing.
You just heard your mom?
I just heard my mom. My mom called. I didn't hear nothing.
And she just screamed your name to...
Yeah, come, this boy done shot this boy.
Wrong.
Yeah.
So she saw it?
Yeah, yeah. But see, my thing is, I thought, you know, she, you know, I go out there and it was true. Oh,
I know.
I'm not.
Yeah, I know. And, you know, what people don't seem to understand through this whole process is that you were in the same house when AJ...
The whole situation.
Yeah.
I can't do
it was, and then it was a lot of issues with the situation because he left.
Right.
So a lot of Sai's friends, they didn't know if it was intentionally done or if it was by accident. They didn't understand because he fled the scene.
I watched him. You know what I mean? I watched AJ. He did what he did. I watched him. I watched the pain in his eyes. I watched the hurt in his face. You understand what I'm saying? When
so
you
know it was an accident? Is that what you're saying?
But the only thing is, only reason why I say it's an accident is because I don't know. I didn't hear no gunshot. That's the only thing that got me jacked up, and that still sticks with me to this day. But I have no reason to believe they were arguing or anything because they just played too much. You understand what I'm saying? They played all the time, and I don't have no reason to believe it was no argument. I don't, because I didn't hear any arguing. Right. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I also didn't hear a gunshot.
Right.
So,
Martina, what do you feel about it? Do you feel like it was just an accident? Because you knew that how their relationship was. Did they have a good relationship?
Yeah, they had a good relationship. Honestly, it could have been an accident. Yeah. But the end result of accident on purpose is still that I don't got a brother. Like my brother's not here. So I really, I'm still always angry about it.
Yeah, I understand. So. Now, when your mom actually went to court to try to help AJ with the situation in court so he didn't get the maximum time, how did you feel about that? Did you have mixed feelings?
It was mixed feelings, but the way my mom explained it to me, I was at peace with it because she was at peace with it. You know what I mean? I feel like she got the more tragic end of it. You know what I mean? Probably watching and seeing it,
right,
or whatever. So when she was talking to the judge and stuff she was saying, I was just like wanting AJ to come home and do what he had to do. You know what I mean? I just like if you're allowed to come home and you want to come home, just make sure I don't know, just make sure that my brother's name can live on in something good. Right. You come home and you act like everything's fine when it's really not, because they saying you need mental health and therapy and stuff like that, but to me he seems fine, so I got mixed feelings.
To me, the only thing that helped me get through that, because at that time my mom got taken away, my grandbaby got taken away, my son just passed, so I was in the house, the apartment it happened in by myself, until Biggers and them came over, and helped me through, and I was by myself, and I felt him. You know what I mean? I know it was him.
And Biggers she helped us through that whole process.
Yes, she did.
She was right there with us.
The whole family.
She was at the funeral home with us. Her daughters were there. I mean, Biggers,
yes,
she was right there through the
through
whole
the
process.
whole thing, and that's who I needed. I needed you. I called you. I called her, talked to her, and they was there. Like when I was home by myself, you know what I'm saying? That's who came. They came over. They stayed. Mello stayed.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You came over. I told you I need help. I need your help because I know that's what you know. You know me. I was a wreck. I called you and you was right there for me I couldn't remember your number. You know how I get them mixed up and stuff like.
And that was crazy because I don't know if your mom told you, but that night it happened. Kai called me upset. And Kai said, "Mom, Sai gone." I said, "Gone where?" And he said, "No, Mom, Sai, he's gone." I said, "What is that supposed to mean?" He said, "Mom, they said he got shot." I said, "No, he didn't, because Tina would have called me. Sai is fine, Kai." So I wasn't accepting it. I was just like, whatever. So I hung up the phone. But when she called, when her phone number came up at 2 or 3 in the morning, I just knew. Like, I didn't even want to, like, my body, I just felt chills because Tina doesn't call me at 2 or 3 in the morning. As soon as I saw her number come up, I was just like, no. And I was like, Tina. She said, "Guys," and I could hear it in her voice. It took everything I had. Like, I was like, because I didn't really, like, I didn't even give Kai the opportunity to really tell me, because I just wasn't trying to hear it, because I know that if something would have happened, Tina would have called me, and I just wasn't trying to accept it. But seeing her number was making me realize what just happened, and it was the worst phone call. Like, I knew, and I heard it in her voice, and I just said, "What do you need me to do?" And we got through it. I mean,
and I just listen. They took care of everything.
It was because you.
I mean, like I said, I remember my god sister telling me one time on the phone that. It's just the only thing that helped me get through it. My god sister told me on the phone one time that, you know, your children belong to God. You know what I mean? And you have to, I don't mean to laugh, but she's like, "I'm not going to lose no sleep." She was like, that's a whole nother conversation. But she said, your children, they belong to God. We have them. But really, you know, they're God's children. You know what I mean? So that's the only thing that helped me get through with his death, that everything, you know, is written this way. Sai used to say that. Yeah. It's already written. It's already written. And then to look at the piece that was on his face when he was holding on, you know what I mean? And I'm like, you know, like. Because that was the only thing I could say to you. I'm just like, because I was hurting. Kai, my son, your son, they all grew up together. Like, looking at Sai was like looking at my son. Like, that could have, it was just too much. And well, he was only home for 2 weeks. I know. And he was only 25. Yeah, but then I got, you know, another thing helped me get through is that the fact that I was blessed to have him in my life for those 25 years. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. And he touched a lot of people. He did. I mean, I didn't, you know, he was funny. That was my baby. He was funny. We used to just laugh. He's crazy. He used to say, "That's kind of Beanie." And I used to say, "Beanie Escobar." I always had to do something backwards. But he was really comical. And you realized how many lives he touched at the service because people were talking about him. I didn't even know some of the people that was in there. I know. I mean, it was just people coming. It wasn't even enough seats to seat everybody that came to the funeral. And the love that when they went around Oakmont and this, but the rapping career thing, he was like this. Even when he came home for the 2 weeks, he had some different, you know, sounds to his rap. And then he got some friends where he had went to the studio a couple times since he went home. That's music I haven't even heard. And then it's this one side song. It's this guy called White Boy. You know, White Boy. You know somebody named White Boy that looks something like AJ, but it's the other boy. Oh yeah. His name White Boy. Yeah. So, well, he got this song he showed me aside. I love that song and I can't find it. I can't find it on YouTube or nothing. It's not on YouTube? It probably is. I can't
Well,
get to
maybe
it.
if we could find the producer, maybe he has the raw.
Yes, I'm
copies,
saying I
so-
love that song. He was outside of the market.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
And he was outside of the market, and I know that song was awesome. And if he was here today, he would have done. He would have been, you know what I'm saying?
He would have. He
He
was
would have
on
made
his
something.
way.
Yeah,
Definitely.
But from him, Rajay started rapping, you know, from side. Because remember, Rajay used to come over the house and he started writing and writing. Now he does his own thing.
Mm-hmm.
And Ty is with my cousin's son. He's with what's his name from 99, Power 99. What's the guy's name? I forget his name. See?
He works for Power 99.
Yeah, the guy do, and he's like a manager for Tata. So Tata,
good.
and he's
helped launch other people's rap careers as well.
Like that, like, you know, motivated them to do something, inspired them to, you know, do it.
So what do you think Psy's legacy is?
Not just his music, but Psy's him being genuinely a good-hearted person. That's his legacy, a good-hearted, loving person.
He was.
For real. He loved his people. He loved his friends. You know what I mean? Like, when
did.
he called you a friend, that's what you was to him.
That's right.
You know what I mean? If not, he ain't like you, he ain't like you. You know what I'm saying? But if you was his friend, he would do anything and everything in the world for you. He would be there for you, anything, try his best to do whatever he could do.
Right.
Yeah, that's it.
What do you think his legacy was, Martina?
On his children. He loved his children.
Well,
I honestly think his music is his legacy. Because if you listen to it, like, you really understand him. You can see, like, you listen to it, you know what type of person he is because he rapped. And it wasn't just something that he wrote down on what was on his mind. It was like what was on his heart or what was on his spirit. You know what I mean? So I think his music is his legacy. Because as long as his music is out there, he'll be out there. Like, you know, people get to know him.
And you wanted to mention his
he
children?
has two children, Samier Handy and Lavria. She just had that little girl after he passed. And I can't wait to meet her. I haven't met her yet. I see her on Facebook, but to physically meet her, I haven't met her yet.
So if there was something that you would want to say to people about this whole situation, what would you tell people, Martina?
For one, just like love on your loved ones every day, because every day is not promised. That's basically what I'm gonna say. Is love on them and tell them you love them. Cause I know the last words I said to my brother and the last words he said to me was "I love you," and that helps me. You know, that does keep me with peace because I know, we both know that we love each other.
Tina, what would you want people to know from this whole situation?
Stop playing with guns. That's what I want to say. Stop playing with guns. It's not a game. Like, and the same thing she said too. Love on, you know, your loved ones, and start thinking about the petty arguments you have and how silly it is. Because one day they're here and they go on the next. Like, and then you done got in an argument with them, and that's the last thing that you said to them. That's going to eat you alive. But one thing, the guns, the violence, the guns, the mistakes, the playing around, it's not cool. It's not. I mean, because I honestly, my son, well, everything is written, but sometimes I'm back and forth with it. Like, I feel like if it wasn't for the, you know, the playing around, he could be still here. It'll be 2 years already, you know. And, you know, that's a long time. And, I mean, it's a short time, but it's still like, you know, it's been 2 years since my baby been gone. And I just, you know, I think about him all day, every day, you know. We talk about him. And then Gaddafi, he calls, and he went through it just last week. about Sai.
Yeah.
He was going through a little emotional state because just imagine they didn't even bring him to see his brother.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then he was 17 the last time he seen his brother.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And he got
So
memory.
he was incarcerated
Right.
when this happened to Sai, so he never got a chance to say goodbye or
Right.
say that I love you.
Right.
Or so he has unresolved emotions.
Yes, he does. So he's gonna need, some type of counseling when he get out.
Mm-hmm.
You understand
Definitely.
what I'm saying? Because
Right.
that's rough. He loved his brother.
Mm-hmm.
His brother loved him.
Yeah.
And it's just sad. You know what I mean? But like I said, when I went to the court and asked, for him to, because he was 19, and I didn't want 2 lives.
You mean AJ was 19?
19 years old. I didn't want 2 lives going. You know what I mean? And all I could think of was I was angry for a whole year. But I prayed through that anger, and I prayed, and I prayed, and I prayed. And that's the answer I got. You know what I mean? From
to
listening
forgive.
Right. And that's the answer I got, and that's what I went with. No matter what I was hearing in my ears, I went with that. And that's why. And I knew they thought I wasn't going to make it to the courtroom because everybody was sitting in there, Marty was sitting there, I was the last one to show up. And I just told him, the only reason why I just don't want to see my son's death go in vain. I want to see you grow up and become the man that my son. I was watching my son become because he was changing.
Well, he made me a promise that he would. That's every time we saw each other. That's what we would talk about. Him getting his life together, and he made a promise that he would. And what gives me peace is to know that even though he's not here with us, he was on that path to getting everything in order. So to me, I just feel like he kept that promise to me.
He was.
So
he came a long way.
that was my baby. So it's still hard, and I just thank y'all so much for being able to do this today, because we all needed healing through this process, and it's still a process. I mean, I try not to think about it as much because it just brings everything back like that whole day again. But me and Tina will have our moments where we just have to talk about it. And I just figured if we could talk about it and put it out there, then maybe other people can forgive and move on, because that's the key. If she's going to continue to just be angry and mad and bitter at a situation that she couldn't control, then it's going to eat her up on top of not having Sai here. And when you love somebody, you want the best for them. And it wasn't easy. And each day, we all have to get through this together, but that's what we're here for, to try to help each other. So,
and I thank you guys, sis, because you was there. And I thank God for people like my god sister Biggers, and for real, because I'm telling you, I probably was still in the bed.
Yeah, it was a lot.
It was,
that's when family pulls together, though.
Actually, that's because it's basically my family consists of me, my children, my mom, and my brother. My brother Wallace. Riley is there too. Well, I'm just saying, and you, and that's all my family consists of. That's all I have. You know what I'm saying? And then for Biggers and everybody else to pull in and all to come, that's family.
That's family.
That's
family. And
family.
it'll always be family.
Yeah.
Was there anything, any last words that y'all want to say?
No, I love you.
I love you.
Always.
God, sis.
I love you for real.
And I always say you're
Marty.
my hero, because you've been through so much and you just still keep going. I mean,
by the grace,
you're
God's
my
grace and
hero.
mercy.
She's a superhero. I'm telling you.
By God's grace and mercy.
I just want to say, look up his music, because it's a lot, and then, like I said, it's kind of like a Tupac thing.
Tell them where to find it.
You can find it on YouTube and look up Suki Suave, and he'll pop up 1 trillion times. And then you can find it on SoundCloud, FCF, and yeah. I think that's it, but it's a lot. It's a lot of music.
Yeah.
And it's him. It's him. It's raw. It's how he feels. It's him.
Yeah. So, that's it. That's all I have to say. Thanks for listening.
I love you.
I love you too.
I love you, Martina.
It's black ice got me cold and strapped with a black block on my shoulders. I don't talk about the swag I show. I'm a real nigga and you know. Success is not final, but failure is my favorite. I bet you ain't even know. I was taught to use me a loser from a loved one that I lost. The little things make the biggest difference. That's how my problems got solved. But I lost my mind before I used it. Stressed out, I abused it. Then once I came back to my senses, I started expressing myself through this music. I don't care if people don't like me. I ain't doing this to make friends. I don't care if fake niggas hate on me. Real niggas know